Hi, I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, and I'm coming in today, Monday being the 15th of May. You just see my little pictures. They just love to walk in when I'm doing recordings. So going back to it, doing a energy forecast for May the 15th through to the 21st. So before I go on, I just want to say and wish everyone that they had a fabulous Mother's Day yesterday. So I hope all you mums out there got spoiled rotten and had a beautiful day sharing it with your friends and family. So let's go in and see what's coming up for us. The very first card, these are our cards for the week that's come up. So for anyone who doesn't know, these are BU Oracle cards, and I am the creator of them, and I'll be using them to do the reading. So starting from my right hand, the very first card for Monday is Strength. Now this card it says, I'm at peace with who I am. When I designed this card, I really wanted to call it spunk, because I think when we can come into a place where we are completely at peace with who we are, we really do radiate this element of having our own spunk. And look, at the end of the day, every single person that walks this earth has their own identity. And it's a matter of being able to be at a place where you can come to, where you feel really peaceful. So when this card comes up, it says that not only is there an element of feeling really peaceful, the reason that there is an element of peace is because there's been some internal reflection, some healing or transformation that's occurred that's allowed you to come to this place where you just go, you know what? I really am very comfortable with who I am, and being comfortable in your own skin. And that really does radiate this real confidence and this sexiness for when you see someone that is completely at ease inside their own skin. It truly is beautiful because they've come from a place of acceptance. They've learned to accept all parts of self. Now, for a long time, we keep aspects of ourselves very, very separated. We keep the things that we deem to be beautiful and awesome. We keep them at the surface, and we're happy to share them. But there's those other elements of ourself. Some people deem or call them their shadow self. They keep those hidden away in certain areas. When this card is appearing, it means that you've brought and collated and brought them all together, and realize that really at the end of the day, all of those parts make up who you are. And those areas that you may call as shadow selves are just areas that require a little bit more light that's being brought to them. So when you have this card that comes up that says, I am at peace with who I am, it's beautiful. Relish in it. Enjoy every minute of being comfortable with who you are, because that's exactly what you were put on this earth to do. You were put on this earth to be no one else other than yourself. So it shows the great work that you've been doing on an internal element that's now radiating out into an external factor. So that's Monday and Tuesday. So that's very, very cool. Which also definitely connects in with today's theme being the Monday, which was spiritual essence. So it's about accepting all of those parts of self and allowing this identity of our spiritual essence. Hang on, let me see. I'll just grab it. So Monday was the card that I just pulled, and it was about spiritual being. And this card is about, coming from a place where you start honoring and validating and giving yourself permission to share and celebrate this part of yourself, because, we are all and all have a spiritual essence within ourselves. We all choose to express them all very differently. So this card with spiritual being and strength is also, spiritual being is also about, maybe your intuition or this spiritual aspect of yourself is wanting to be explored, so that you can delve in a little bit deeper and start going and actually seeing what is this actual aspect of yourself. How would you like to share it and express it? So there could be an aspect behind that that's saying, now it's time to start going in and doing some study around it, or expressing it in different ways. And that could be doing, some form of spiritual course. Some people want to go off and learn something that they've been putting off. They may want to start joining groups where they're going in and doing meditation, or spiritual churches. You may find that you want to celebrate this element of yourself, the spiritual being, using, medicine drums or crystal bowls. There's lots of various ways in which to go through and start sharing this. So it's a really nice connection with the spiritual being, and strength is that it's giving you that validation that, now it is time for you to be comfortable to just at least go and explore it. No one's saying you have to, continue down this pathway forever, but we all have these little parts that are inside of our head that said, I'd really like to go and learn this, but we put so many other things in front of that and don't give ourselves permission. So spiritual being is about giving yourself permission to go in and honor and validate this aspect of yourself, and allow yourself to just go and explore this area within yourself. So very, very exciting times for Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is about being mindful of moon cycles. Now, the moon cycles, I know that we've just had a full moon. So with this coming up from Wednesday to Friday, this card would signify to me that there would be a healing that still needs to be transformed from the full moon. So there could be an event, a person, or a place that is brought up into your consciousness as in giving you the opportunity to go in and ask yourself, is there any healing still that needs to be required around that time in your life? And to just come from a curious mindset. Remember, come from the objective observer, where we rise up above the situation or the event that's occurred, or that time in your life where it's brought up, so maybe some pain, and ask yourself, what is it that needs to be transformed at this time? Is there some healing that still needs to take place? And sometimes that healing can be forgiveness for yourself. Number one, we as humans seem to be so great at giving forgiveness to other people, but not necessarily so great on forgiving ourselves. So this time from Wednesday through to Friday is about being aware that a certain situation in your life could be brought to the surface. Look at it as a fabulous opportunity. When your soul reveals and brings up an event, a lot of the times we start to think, oh, well, I've already looked at this, how many more times do I have to keep looking at this? I still keep ending up with the same conclusion all the time. Your soul is bringing it up because it's saying that you no longer need this in your world anymore. It no longer needs to trigger off a pain point for you in your life. We can never go back and change the past, but we can change the perception in which we view certain events that occurred to us in our life. And we don't have to give the forgiveness to condone someone else's behavior, but we can give ourselves that forgiveness so that we can continue along our pathway feeling whole and complete within ourselves. So it's something to be really, really mindful of. Now, Saturday and Sunday is the Sassy card. Now, when this card reveals itself, it lets me know that you're starting to let a few things slip a little bit in the way in which you perceive and see yourself. Now, the Sassy card, in a really short form, and I hope I don't offend anyone, really does mean it's time to get your shit together. Because every time you look at yourself, you're looking at yourself and thinking, God, I look dreadful. Now, what happens when we come from that mindset is that we start to see that. It's reflecting back to us in the way that we look. So, you may not have washed your hair for a while. You may need to shave them legs or arms or whatever it is. And that is showing an internal reflection of how you're feeling in yourself. This card is really paramount because it means that you've been so great at giving to others that you have failed to recognize that you need to take care of yourself. And this is a bit of a wake-up call that says, let's go and reverse engineer. Because the moment that we start feeling not so great internally and it starts reflecting externally, we start to, notice it in, you might start to have, like everyone has these, what I call like sloth clothes, that you put them on and they're incredibly comfortable. No doubt it's definitely getting colder here in Australia. So you have those comfort clothes, but they're not comforting if you're staying in them all the time. And every time you look at yourself, you think to yourself, God, I just look dreadful. I need to do something about that. Because what happens is that thought then starts breeding and starts playing out in your mind, and you start to see that you may be slipping in other areas. So the beauty with this card and this little bit of a wake-up call is that we get to reverse engineer. So when this card comes up, It's a matter of get yourself in the shower, wash your hair, shave if you need to shave, rub some beautiful lotion on your skin, do your hair, do your makeup. And for guys, it works exactly the same. Not saying you need to put makeup on, but every person has these moments where we fall into being in sloth mode and we're not necessarily taking care of ourselves. And, go into your wardrobe and pick out something that when you put it on, it makes you feel beautiful and makes you feel really great about yourself. Because you know what? The reverse engineer aspect is about the moment that you see how fabulous you look, you're going to start telling yourself that you feel good about yourself. Naturally, that's going to have a progression that moves into the internal world, and you're going to start feeling good about yourself, saying nice things to yourself. Because every time you look at yourself, you're going to say, I'm glad I made sure that I made myself a priority today. I look and feel fabulous. You radiate this beautiful essence of being able to getting your sassy on. And there is nothing more sexier than seeing someone that just radiates an internal beauty that they feel within themselves, because you're not looking for an external validation from anyone else. You're looking to change the mindset that's occurring in your mind, which can come from being triggered from this event. When certain events have come up that are incredibly painful, it could drop us down into feeling a little bit not so depressed, but they can make us feel a bit down. And it shows, you can see that because of Wednesday through to Friday, that an event will come to the surface that's going to trigger that. With this card coming up next, it's saying that it is going to be something that really is going to be a core element. It's going to hit some real trigger points within you, and some people will go within and they'll withdraw and, detract away from people. And that's okay for a short term. But when the sassy card's coming up next, it's saying it's not moving in a place that's been productive for you, because it's taking you back to the pain. So first and foremost, remind yourself that you do not need to live the pain of an experience again. You've already been there once. You know how painful it was. You do not need to go from that place again. So please remind yourself, even if you catch yourself go, that's right, I don't need to do this anymore. Rise above and come from that objective observer, where you're only observing what is it that you can learn from this experience, how can you grow, and what amazing skills did you develop from this pain point. Because you know what? Every painful experience will have taught you to develop some amazing skills, and that could be motivation, it could be determination, it could be self-confidence to believe in yourself. It could be to love yourself. It could be to learn to trust yourself. Now, you wouldn't have got those skills had you not had this event. So remember, there is something magnificent for you to observe from this event when it's occurred. If you start noticing that you're slipping down, which this card is saying, it's time to say, you know what, it's time to shift gear and start time to take care of me, and to make sure that my internal world is reflecting with what I deserve, which is you deserve to have magnificent things in your world, and it starts with you. So the moment that you look at yourself and you feel and radiate this beautiful essence within you, guess what? You're going to vibrate that essence out into the world, and that therefore is going to help with that progression of healing for yourself. And you know what? Even when you've been through periods where you've delved deep into different aspects of yourself, we can go so far inwards that it starts to go to a place that's not so healthy, that we sort of need to pull it back a little bit. And we've all been there before, where we start, looking at something and we start pulling it apart into a million pieces. But the moment that it becomes unproductive is the moment that it starts being reflective on our external world. So this week it looks like there's going to be a little bit of an emotional up and down, especially because, we start off this week feeling awesome, and feeling and having our spunk on and having that real strength within ourselves to validate that I'm really, really comfortable in my own skin, to have something trigger it in your world again, to then be brought back on track. That's the beauty with your soul. If it's going to take you to places that it encourages you to delve deeper, it's also going to encourage you on how to come back out of that. So being mindful, So, you know, you could set in your calendar that Saturday morning, you know, you might just delegate 2 hours for yourself to get your hair done, get your nails done, do whatever it is that's going to make you radiate and exemplify that real natural beauty within yourself for no other reason than because you can and because you want to, and because it's important to be able to come from this place where every time you look at yourself, there is an essence of feeling proud, because in order to, you know, be able to have that conversation in yourself, it means that you've taken time out for yourself. It means that you've made yourself a priority. It means that you're nurturing and nourishing your soul. It means that you're giving yourself some self-love. So this element of the Sassy card, don't get stuck in just thinking that it's all about, you know, our external reflection. It's about those other 5 elements that I spoke to you about and what it takes to be able to come to this place. So I wish everyone an incredibly amazing week. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, and feel free to click the link below to find out more around the BU Oracle cards, or to find out more about myself on my website. So have an amazing week, everyone. Take care of you. Much love. Have a great day.